Welcome in, everybody, to the Booty Scoot Racing Channel, live here from the Charlotte Motor Speedway, Roval style, for the Madness Racing League Xfinity Series Season 3, race number 4. It's the one and only road course race of the year for the Xfinity Series, located here in Charlotte, North Carolina. These guys are getting ready to tackle on the high banks of the regular racetrack and the infield road course section around this 2.28 mile road length asphalt oval. Ladies and gentlemen, things are getting ready to get down and dirty here tonight at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. Your favorite drivers are locked and loaded for the Rockin' Roval 75. We're getting ready to go racing here tonight on the brand new 2025 layout for the Madness Racing League Xfinity Series. Ladies and gentlemen, qualifying is in the books, and on the pole here tonight, driving the number 66 Chevy Camaro, that's the Union Beach, New Jersey driver, the real deal, Neil Rutt the third. He'll take home his first pole of the year. Neil Rutt already been in the victory lane this year on the Booty Scoot Racing Channel, looking to go back-to-back here and grab his second one if he could. He picked up the win at the Rockingham Speedway. We're moments away from going rocking at a Roval and at the 75 around this beautiful racetrack here in Charlotte. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're just now tuning in here for the first time ever on the Booty Scoot Racing Channel, watching the Xfinity Series, the white flag is just went in the air for qualifying. Neil Rutt III currently on top of the leaderboard right now. He has one win to his name, 162 plus above the cut line. 4 more races remain after this until we begin the playoffs, so guys are going to start to have moving and grooving. Ladies and gentlemen, it doesn't look like Everett Larson is in the field here tonight, so got to miss out on the points that are going to be available here tonight for the Charlotte Roval, the Rockin' Roval 75. Ladies and gentlemen, things are getting ready to get absolutely crazy here tonight. Still waiting on a couple more drivers to join in here on the Booty Scoot Racing Channel's Madness Racing League Rockin' Roval 75. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll get you the keys of the race here just a second momentarily. Have all the rules for you so you guys aren't missed out or left out on the action here, like you don't know what you're talking about or what you're seeing on the racetrack. Make sure you're tuning in here. Go ahead on over to the YouTube page located in the top right portion of your screen. And go ahead and click that like button. Press that subscribe button for us. However, on the YouTube page, it helps us out tremendously. Well, to send us through the algorithm. Looks like we're missing just one more car on the pole, and that will be our pole sitter. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll go ahead and get tonight's driver introduction portion of parts kicked off here tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing Channel. Starting on the pole here tonight, driving the number 66 from Union Beach, New Jersey, that's Neil Rutt the third. Starting on the front row, second place spot, here's driving the Budweiser number 4 Camaro from Hawthorne, New Jersey. So the 2 New Jersey drivers will round out the front half of the field. That's Kevin Tanko. Second row tonight on the Xfinity Series for the Madness Racing League, the number 9 Hooters Chevy Camaro is in that is the runner-up in Season 2, the 99 from Park Ridge, New Jersey, of Jerry Powers. And rounding out, driving the number 15 Napa Auto Parts Camaro from Getega, that's Carter Jackson. And driving the Harris Cherokee Casinos number 5 Chevy Camaro from Greer, South Carolina, that's Showtime Chase Johnson. And driving the number 09 Kroger Cinnamon Toast Crunch Ford Mustang from Mooresville, North Carolina, right here. Having a hometown race tonight, that's Holden Wheeler. And driving the number 8 Chevy City Chevy Camaro, driving the Chase Johnson Racing entry, number 8, that's Corey Tessner. Driving on the outside of him, driving the Clarence number 1 Chevy Camaro Bass Pro Shop Tracker, number 1 machine, that's Michael Johnson. And starting on the outside of him, driving the number 24 Chevy Camaro, that's the Burton Milwaukee Dr. Pepper machine of Braden Rickenbaugh. Driving the number 7 Yellowwood Ford Mustang from Pelzer, South Carolina. Look at that shake, rattle, and roll. That's Travo Wall. And starting on the inside of him, that is going to be the number 81 Chevy Camaro from Troy, Alabama. That's the U.S. Navy veteran. Sponsoring the Veterans Day here tonight of Terry Hughes Jr. On the outside of him from Troy, Alabama will be his little brother driving the number 1881 iRacing Ford Mustang. That's Trent Hughes. Starting on the inside of Trent, driving the number 23 Gorilla Mine Toyota Supra from Greer, South Carolina. That's your mom's favorite driver, the Boogeyman, John Michael Bryant. Thank you for bearing with me here. Huge field here tonight for the Madness Racing League. Driving the number 25 Chevy Camaro Chemical. Number 25 from East Windsor, that's Sean Williams. And starting behind him, driving the Triple Deuce Indiana Hoosiers football program Ford Mustang. That's the Triple Deuce from B-Town, Indiana, of Chris Knighty. And starting on the outside of him, driving the number 02 Maynard Motors Toyota Supra from Wilford, South Carolina. That's the kid of Nicholas Maynard. And starting behind him, driving the Waffle House number 48. Excuse me, let me take that back. That's the Queso Games number 48. Chevy Camaro, that's the large car from Buchanan, West Virginia, of Nick Crawford. And driving the number 38 Gravedigger Ford Mustang from Hyzabah, Georgia, the BU2 U.S. Navy veteran. That's the Ford Mustang of Thomas McLaughlin. Ladies and gentlemen, Blake Koschchild will take the start and park here tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing channel, and he will take the points here. We got a beautiful day to go racing around this awesome, famous, extraordinary road course that has been put together by Marcus Smith. We would like to thank him. Ladies and gentlemen, you are watching the Rock and Roval 75, 2 sets of tires, 0 fast repairs for 30 laps here tonight at the Charlotte Roval. Competition caution will fly on lap number 10. Everybody will pit as a group, as a unit, whatever you want to call it. Pit road will be open when all of these cars reach behind Peter the pace car form, just like they are right now, getting ready to head through the infield portion of tonight's road course. And ladies and gentlemen, if you want to try to flip that competition caution, maybe come in lap 8, lap 9, throw you in some Sunoco Racing fuel and 4 fresh Goodyear tires, try to hop out front there to flip out the stage, if that's what you want to call it. You may so ever likely do that if you would please and want to. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight's keys of the race is going to be saving those Goodyear tires, avoiding cutting the track and causing yourself to have to slow down, costing yourself more time here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. A new layout, brand new time, the first time ever for the Madness Racing League Xfinity Series coming here to Charlotte for the 2025 Roval layout. These guys are going to have a handful here tonight. Underneath the sun, with the hot sun out here, you can only imagine what these race cars are getting ready to have to go through 30 laps here tonight. Or, ladies and gentlemen, finally, the last key of the race. Will you flip that caution on lap number 10 for the Madness Racing League as we get ready to go racing here for the Rock and Roval 75 live here tonight from Charlotte, North Carolina. Neil Rutt III on the pole. James Fountain in the second row with Kevin Tanko heading down into the bus stop area on the back straightaway. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are not pressing that like button or have pressed that follow button, you're doing it all wrong. We're getting ready to go racing here tonight for the at the Roval here in Charlotte, North Carolina. No full course cautions here. It's going to take at least 4 of these Xfinity cars to be piled up at one time for the full course caution to come out. Besides that, everything else will be a local caution. So guys are going to have to be on their P's and Q's, exclamation marks, question marks, whatever you want to call it, getting ready to take the green flag here tonight for America's home of racing, road course style. Peter the pace car will hang the left down onto pit lane, and it'll be all in the hands of Neil Rutt III. The real deal, bringing them through the restart zone, getting ready to take the green flag here tonight for the first time in the Madness Racing League Xfinity Series Season 3, race number 4. Green flags in the air here for the Rock and Roval 75 live here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Looks like everybody's able to get down in there. There goes Michael Johnson hard on the outside wall. He'll lock up his outside tires. Everybody's going to work around the number 1 of Michael Johnson. Have to feed himself back in here. We're up in a racing at the Roval. Ladies and gentlemen, slap that like button. Press that follow button. 30 laps of road course racing heading your way. Carter Jackson trying to run down and get away from Ty Robertson here in this number 9 Hooters Chevy Camaro. Ladies and gentlemen, if you don't have a favorite driver, find one, pick it, stick with it. Things are getting ready to get beaten and banging. Tons of teammates, tons of manufacturing things going on here. How will guys play this out here tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing channel? Down into the hard-braking hairpin zone. Neil Rutten III to hold on to the race lead here. Climbing the banking here through turns 9 at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. That's NASCAR's turn 1 and 2. James Fountain trying to rip through the gears and run down the race leader of Neil Rutten and Kevin Tankos. Kevin Tankos and this number 4 U.S. Air Force Chevy Camaro, sponsored by Budweiser, working their way through the hard butt stop. Carter Jackson will lock up the left front tire, and he's up and rolling here. That'll open up the door to Ty Robertson. Everybody else, though, working their way through the hairpin quite well. Nick Crawford will lock up the brake there. Hey, Chris Knighty, Nicholas Smader, there goes Nick Crawford. He'll spin around off the exit of the bus stop. Out the wait to try to rejoin the entry of the field here, ladies and gentlemen. This is just the opening lap here at the Roval. Neil Rutten will work off the exit of the opening front stretch chicane here, and here comes the number 24, James Fountain, up and going here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. You are watching the Madness Racing League Xfinity Series Season 3, race number 4, racing here live at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. Ty Robertson all over the back bumper of Carter Jackson. This will be the battle for the 4th place spot. If Ty Robertson could ever work over the Napa Auto Parts machine, several guys are going to need that code to the Napa Auto Parts discount machine. Is Kevin Tankos starting to work around the back bumper of the number 66 of Neil Rutten III to pull it to the back bumper. A little bit of contact's made down here into the hairpin. Hard on the braking zone down here into the hairpin. Turn 8 at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. Tankos will try the undercut around Neil Rutten III, but won't get it. James Fountain, though, looking out these two guys, battle out in front of him and run down the race leader. Kevin Tankos has the left rear quarter panel. Things are up and rolling here. We're racing at the Roval. Kevin Tankos battles door to door with Neil Rutten III. Hard on the braking zone, down in the 2nd gear. In the 1st gear, Kevin Tankos will throw the block down on the number 66. Everybody up and rolling here at the Charlotte Roval, spreading out quite fast here. Here comes Corey Riptide Tesner, soaring to the front of the pack of this number 8, Chase Johnson Racing Auto Parts Machine. That's the team owner of Chase Johnson in the 6th place spot. He'll climb the banking through NASCAR's turn 3 and 4. Down onto the brake, down in the turn 12. Kevin Tankos has the race lead over Neil Rutten. Trent Hughes, the younger brother of Terry Hughes, trying to get worked around right here by Michael Johnson. Michael Johnson to put the bumper to the back of the number 18 Ford Mustang. He'll lock up the right front tire. Hey, Chris Knighty trying to get around, but let the slow up and give up a little bit of time. And Nicholas Manor will look to the inside left quarter panel of the Triple Deuce. Meanwhile, John Michael Bryant, Nick Crawford got turned around there earlier. Not sure what happened to Thomas McLaughlin. John Michael Bryant losing a little bit of touch here with the front half of the back. 3 laps are complete out of the schedule 30. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're just joining in here live on the TikTok platform, we see 14 of you guys watching us live here at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. Competition caution on lap number 10. Things are down to get dirty here. Quick, ladies and gentlemen, you see these guys working down into that hard hairpin, having to rip up and through the gears. Neil Rutten III working down the back straightaway. Neil Rutten trying to get back out front here to the race lead. Ladies and gentlemen, every position giving you about 4 points to your total score. So example, if you were to finish in the 5th place spot and you were to move up to the 4th place spot, that's 4 more points added to your total score. These guys are going to be trying to make passes all night long. Kevin Tankos hard down into the braking zone here on the front straightaway. It'll be Tankos, Rutten, Fountain, Jackson, Roberts in the top 5. Everybody knows the tail here across the line at the Charlotte Motor Speedway, America's home for racing at the Charlotte Roval. Marcus Smith did an absolute critical thing by taking away the fall date for the oval race for Charlotte, but he has blessed us with this beautiful 2.28 mile road course. James Fountain down into turns 5, working his way around into turn 6. Getting ready to head up towards here. 2nd gear is what was the preferred line in practice, and James Fountain is offline here. He'll lose a little bit of touch of time, and Carter Jackson sees what's in front of him. He'll have to jump all over the back bumper, riding out the front nose of the Napa Auto Parts machine. Number 15 of Carter Jackson. Carter Jackson been to victory lane here before on the Booty Scoot Racing channel, just not in the Xfinity Series. Besides when he won the one and only All-Star race for the Madness Racing League. Carter Jackson, though, yet to win a Xfinity Series points-paying race. Corey Tesner, Jerry Powers battle it out here for the 7th place spot. A brand new reconfigured Charlotte Roval. You want to know what was different? This portion right here is Trent Hughes Battles door to door with Chris Knighty, two 81XI Racing teammates. Nicholas Maynard trying to get into the party as well. Here comes the number 23 of John Michael Bryant, working their way up the banking. The NASCAR turns 3 and 4 out of turn 14. Down into turn 15 hard, down into third gear, down in the second gear. Kevin Tanko's banging gears here at the Charlotte Roval. Neil Rutt slowly closing over the back bumper. They have put about 8-car length gap between him and Carter Jackson, who works around James Fallon finally in that number 24 machine. Ladies and gentlemen, Chase Johnson has about a 14-car gap between him and the rest of the guys battling it out here at the Charlotte Roval. 5 more laps into the competition. Caution here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. How will these guys begin to play the strategy here tonight? Chris Knighty in this 81XI Racing Ford Mustang. If you didn't hear the news out of the garage 2 weeks ago, driver, owner of 81XI Racing, Terry Hughes Jr., driving this number 81 Chevy Camaro for Rush Motorsports. Want to know why the change? Terry Hughes Jr. signed on full-time by Rush Motorsports to come drive this number 81 Xfinity Camaro to try to collect a little bit more data, and it looks like it's working here. As Kevin Tankos, the owner of Rush Motorsports, is out front here in Charlotte. The 21-year-old New Jersey driver trying to run away from Neil Rutt, the second place New Jersey driver. So New Jersey drivers coming down here tonight in Charlotte, putting on a show. Tankos, Rutt, Jackson, Robertson, and Fountain down hard into the braking zone. Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching the Madness Racing League Xfinity Series Season 3, race number 4, live here from the Charlotte Roval. We'll take you down here on the racetrack. 4 laps to go this time around into the competition. Caution, tonight's Madness Racing League's first Fast in Line. Turn around as the 0-2 of Nicholas Maynard here. We're back from the Fast and Loud. Looks like we had 2 guys spin around there. We had Michael Johnson spin around on the back straightaway. Tons of damage to the number 1 Clarence Auto Parts machine. Bass Pro Shop Tracker number 1 Chevy Camaro. You try saying that 8 times fast and you move back 1 more spot. It's the number 0-2 of Nicholas Maynard. My ticker over here says there was contact between this triple deuce and the 0-2, so 2 guys banging it out here. 1 goes around, unfortunately, but Chris Knighty up and working his way through the field. Kevin Tanko's off the exit of the bus stop here from Hawthorne, New Jersey. He's given up about 2 or 3 car length lead that he had to the Allied Camaro of Neil Rutt III. Ladies and gentlemen, these guys absolutely hitting the rev limiters. Carter Jackson working here with Ty Robertson down into the hard braking zone here. Coleman, Alabama, stand up. Ty Robertson said road course was his passion. This is what he does best. And we're finding out here tonight. He's trying to run away from Carter Jackson. 3 laps to go here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. To the competition, caution. Kevin Tankos trying to hold on to the race lead. As here comes the Harris Casino number 5 Chase Johnson Racing Camaro of Chase Johnson. Chase Johnson, 2-time Madness Racing League Xfinity, 2-time Madness Racing League champion. The only one that he is missing from his shelf is the Xfinity Series. So Chase Johnson trying to change that up here tonight in Charlotte. The 0-2 of Nicholas Maynard working back across the front straightaway here. He's got his teammate of John Michael Bryant right behind him. And this number 23 Toyota Supra, 24 laps to go here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. 3 more into the competition. Caution, John Michael Bryant. Nick Crawford has joined the party as well in this Queso Games number 48 Chevy Camaro. So we've seen this quite a few times throughout this season here in the Xfinity Series. These Toyota Supras, like John Michael Bryant and his teammate of Nicholas Maynard right in front of them, have came to life on the back half of these races when they do go green. So ladies and gentlemen, if these guys could continue to try to keep it green, we know the competition caution flag is just up and around the corner. No pun intended here at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. Tanko takes another lap here, so that'll be 3 laps to go now here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Until the competition flag flies here, and Neil Rutt III, you're looking out the front windshield of the second place driver, trying to run down the number 4 of Kevin Tankos. Off the back straightaway here, looks like Nicholas Maynard has gotten around John Michael Bryant, and they have separated himself by about 3 or 4 car lengths here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Scooting back up here through the middle of the field. We got guys everywhere throughout the road course. They have spread out that fast. You see it on the left side of your screen. Holden Wheeler down on the pit road as he's having some communication problems with his wiring harness inside of that number 09 Ford Mustang, ladies and gentlemen. Carter Jackson been separated here by Ty Robertson. James Fountain just can't quite get the gas down quite while he was looking forward. Chase Johnson really starting to eat into that little back bumper of James Fountain. So Chase Johnson, will he make the pass over the number 24 if he's ever able to get to the back bumper of his own race car? As Carter Jackson bangs gears back down in the second gear, first gear. This car looks to be a handful for Carter Jackson from Getega. Carter Jackson, like we mentioned earlier, won the Chicago Street Course race in the Truck Series on the Madness Racing League. You can go find that on the YouTube page located in the top right portion of your screen. Carter Jackson absolutely dominated that day in Chicago, in the streets of the Chicago Street Course, I shall say. Carter Jackson definitely knows how to get around the road courses. Here comes James Fountain down on the pit road. James Fountain trying something different. We've seen it in the keys of the race. James Fountain going to flip the stage here. Competition caution 2 laps from now. James Fountain says we'll come down, grab a whole can of Sunoco Racing fuel and 4 fresh Goodyear tires. And here comes his teammate of Corey Riptide Tessner in this number 8 City Chevy Camaro. He comes down as well. So 2 Chase Johnson Racing Chevy Camaros down on the pit road. It'll be 4 fresh Goodyear tires, a can of Sunoco Racing fuel, and to top off the number 8 and 4 tires as well of Corey Tessner. James Fountain trying something different here. It looks like he'll try to stay out underneath the caution and reading the race lead. They'll drop the jack on the number 8 of Corey Riptide Tessner. He'll be up and off of pit road. Corey, remember, has to take the left here to re-merge, back onto the racetrack with oncoming traffic. Corey Tessner says it was just a tag too snug there. He had to feed into traffic here behind the number 18, in front of the 18 of Trent Hughes. Trent Hughes will get a little bit of a run. Looks like Corey Tessner, though, will not lose a position to the number 18, and they will not lose a lap as Kevin Tinkos comes around this time around on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Neil Rutt the third will call it quits as well. He'll bring it down on the pit road here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Neil Rutt the third looking to flip the stage here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Neil Rutt the third says it's a tad big night going on to the NASCAR banking. Through the infield, though, it is absolutely flawless. Do not touch this race car. 4 fresh Goodyear tires and 1 can of Sunoco Racing fuel. Kevin Tinkos still running it long here. Ty Robertson will move up to the second place spot. He works his way through the Bank of America infield section portion of the Charlotte Motor Speedway. Carter Jackson, Chase Johnson, Jerry Powers round out the top 5. Neil Rutt the third drops the jack. They'll be on and off of pit road from his pole position. Once Kevin Tinkos comes across the line, the caution flag will be in the air for the number 4 of Kevin Tinkos, and we will have a competition caution to allow all these guys to catch up to the back half of the field. 21 laps to go here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Corey Riptide Tessner come down on the pit road, got 4 fresh Goodyear tires and a can of Sunoco Racing fuel. He's trying to make something shake. He'll have some fresh tires. Looks like he'll stay out underneath the caution. Nicholas Maynard got turned around there by Chris Knighty, and it looks like the caution flag has been thrown here for the competition flag. And Kevin Tinkos will be the race leader here as the competition caution has flown here. 21 laps to go here tonight's event. Kevin Tinkos will hold on to the race lead here, and he will catch the back of the pace car. And it looks like everybody will have a chance to go down on the pit lane and service these beautiful Xfinity Series race cars. Will be transferring over to the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series next year for NASCAR. So, ladies and gentlemen, caution flag is out here at the Charlotte Motor Speedway's infield Roval. Peter the pace car off of the pit lane. Kevin Tinkos will pile out the rest of the field behind him. We'll be back momentarily with the pit stops. James Fountain, Corey Tessner, and it looks like Neil Rutt III will throw the opposite strategy. Come early before the caution flag. You're watching the Rockin' Roval 75 live here from the Charlotte Motor Speedway. Back in just a moment. The competition caution flag is blown. Welcome back here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel, flying high above the racetrack here with Billy the Blimp driver, and he's been throwing back Budweisers all night long. So you really can't fly a blimp and get drunk and get a DUI, so this is why we're up here. Great, beautiful shots here as they head over the tunnel turn here off the exit of the bus stop here at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. Kevin Tinkos is the race leader here tonight as he is taking over the race lead at the competition caution. Some tons of strategy working out of the field right now. Guys like Corey Riptide Tesner catching the back half of the field. James Fountain and Neil Rutt III go down onto the pit lane before the caution flag flies there for the competition caution. They'll try to flip the stage right here and stay out for some track position. Looks like Kevin Tinkos will lead the rest of the pack down on the pit lane. So to be Tinkos, Robertson, Jackson, Johnson, Powers, Hughes, Williams, Wall, and 90 coming down on the pit road. Looks like Trent Hughes and Nicholas Maynard will fall right behind them. So Fountain will become the race leader with Corey Riptide Tesner and Neil Rutt III staying out here on pit road. Kevin Tinkos, the former race leader, coming down pit lane here. He wants four fresh Goodyear tires and 1 can of Sunoco Racing fuels. He says, do not touch the race car. It's a little bit snug into the infield section, but it will loosen up as the run goes. Everybody else trying to do the same. Nicholas Maynard says, not sure what the hell happened back there. They used me as some brakes, spun me around. How much damage do I have? 4 fresh Goodyear tires, 2 cans of Sunoco Racing fuel, and the battle for the pit lane is off here. Kevin Tinkos will win the battle off pit road. So the battle off pit road here, tons of guys getting discombobulated, have to get down hard onto the brake there. Looks like Nicholas Maynard will beat out the rest of these guys back here. Nick Crawford off of pit road. Look at the damage addressed on that race car. So it looks like out of pit road will be Kevin Tinkos, Robertson, Jackson, Johnson, and Powers. Looks like Terry Hughes Jr. will gain a spot or 2 off of pit road. John Michael Bryant will gain 2 spots off of pit road. And then looks like the front of the Peter LeVate's car is coming through the hairpin section portion of the racetrack. 19 laps, going to be 17 laps to go. I'm hearing from the admin as the lights are still on top of the pace car. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll keep it right here and remind you to head on over to that YouTube page because 2 weeks from now, we're headed back to Indianapolis for the Indianapolis Motor Speedway for the Booty Scoot Racing channel. 60 laps around that beautiful racetrack here for the Xfinity Series. Then we're headed to Bristol, baby. It's going to be one hell of a show. And if you're loving what you're watching right here, plenty more of it over on the YouTube page. We got Xfinity, we got Cup, we got Truck, we got late models, we got modifieds, we got dirt. You name it, we got it. We're getting close to Thanksgiving. You know, we got beans, greens, tomatoes, lettuce, ham, yam, dogs, you name it. We have it right here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. 17 laps to go when we return racing back in just a moment here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. James Fountain, Corey Tesner, Neil Rutt will flip for track position here when we return on the Booty Scoot Racing channel live for the Rock and Roval 75. Bang! Welcome back here on the Xfinity Series. Just a quick commercial break there to thank our tonight's sponsors and get some radio privilege soon here. Looks like Peter LeVate's car will hang the left on the pit lane this time around. We'll double file them up through the restart zone. Live here, we'll have 17 laps to go here to complete the Rock and Roval 75. Live here at the beautiful Charlotte Motor Speedway, America's home for racing. James Fountain, Corey Tesner, Neil Rutt flipped the competition caution that was scheduled there on lap 10, which is why we even have them re-racked here in the first place. Not untypical. This is how they usually do it here in the Madness Racing League over the races that I've always broadcasted. If there's a competition caution flag at some point during the race, we rewrite the race cars, give them one more chance to battle it out. And ladies and gentlemen, it looks like James Fountain, Corey Tesner, Neil Rutt have been doing some homework here tonight. They'll try something different here. Carter Jackson has been bad fast here in this number 15 Napa Auto Parts Chevy Camaro. Don't want to forget about Jerry Powers. Jerry Powers from Park Ridge, New Jersey. Sees the other two New Jersey drivers up here. And from my knowledge, I don't believe any of these New Jersey drivers know each other. So just a coincidence here that these Northerners are up front here running great on the road courses. Headed back towards the fans here on the front straightaway. Headed towards the hairpin. James Fountain being told by his crew chief, you got a little bit of left rear damage on the quarter panel. Try to hold on to the race car. You have about half a lap more than the rest of these guys. Plenty of Sunoco Racing fuel. Corey Tesler said the race car was hella loose. What did you guys do to be able to bring some rear grip back? They've told Corey Tesler to adjust the brake bias dial down about 3 notches and do not touch it until you really absolutely need it. Kevin Tankos driving this number 4 U.S. Air Force Budweiser Zen Chevy Camaro, thanking all the veterans here for Veterans Day. Kevin Tankos recently, if you didn't know, now you know, went and won his first Madness Racing League championship right here for Season 2 of the Xfinity Series. He's looking to go back-to-back here in Season 3. Kevin Tankos is also 2 for the last 3 on the road courses here in each series for the Madness Racing League. Kevin Tankos definitely knows how to turn left and can definitely get it going right. Chase Johnson, Jerry Powers will be door-to-door here on the restart. Terry Hughes Jr. back out here for another race in the Madness Racing League. Was looking part-time in some other series, but Saturdays do work for Terry Hughes Jr. He'll work his way up through the field. Not so much a greater day for the younger brother of Terry, the 81X iRacing of Trent Hughes. Remember, we talked to Trent Hughes 2 weeks ago on the Booty Scoot Racing channel when this Rush Motorsports sign-over happened for his older brother of Terry Hughes Jr. And Trent Hughes said this is exactly what he wanted, a chance to take control of the 81X iRacing program with Chris Knighty and build the race cars the way that they wanted to, not the way that Terry Hughes Jr. suggested him to. 18 laps, going to be 17 laps to go when we hit through the Geico restart zone. Green flags back in the air. James Fountain stumps on it. He'll be going it over James Fountain. We're back racing in the Rock and Roval 75 live here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Hard on the brake down into the heartburn turn, down turn 1. Heading into the infield portion of tonight's road course. Everybody trying to hold on to these race cars. Down into the Bank of America portion part. Corey Tesler battles door to door. James Fountain. Hard braking zone right here. Everybody's got to be up on their P's and Q's. They'll look to be single file. Fountain will pull around from Tesler. Here comes Neil Rutt to third. These 3 guys are the guys that elected to stay out underneath the caution flag on the comp caution and pit a lap or 2 before Neil Rutt will battle door to door here with Corey Tesler. Second gear, down the first gear, slam it hard into the braking zone. Corey Tesler will lock it up, and Carter Jackson goes high into the sky for a ride. Carter Jackson says, what the ever-living shit is on the bottom side. Carter Jackson will bottom out the race car there on the turtle through the hairpin zone, climbing the banking through turns 12, down the back straightaway, hard into the braking zone on the back straightaway at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. Carter Jackson said he gets big loose there. What a save there for the number 15. Can he hold on to it? Carter Jackson on brand new, fresh Goodyear rubber, trying to hold on to his race car. John Michael Bryant takes 2 tires underneath the pit stop there in his Toyota. He'll move up 2 spots out of the pit cycle, riding around in the 10th place spot down into the braking zone. James Fountain trying to hold on to the race lead here down into the heartburn zone. Here comes Neil Rutt to third, knocking all over the back door of that number 24 Chase Johnson Camaro. Chevy bow ties round out the top 9 spots here, heading to the infield portion at Charlotte. Just want to go ahead and say, folks, TikTok has restricted our TikTok Live from being permitted out there into the algorithm because they are some assholes. So we appreciate all 9 of you that are still locked and loaded. Kicking here at the Charlotte Motor Speedway, Jerry Powers trying to get around Carter Jackson. But Carter Jackson will have none of it. Carter Jackson dancing inside of that race car. You see him sawing on the wheel, left, right. You name it, just like a Marine Corps guy. Speaking of Marine Corps, happy late Veterans Day to all the veterans out there. Travel Wall hard onto the braking zone. He's trying to run away from Nicholas Maynard. 16 laps to go here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. And Thomas McLaughlin rounds out the last and 17th place spot here. Nick Crawford says he has practiced all week for this race here tonight. He's up 4 spots from where he started in his Queso Games number 48 Chevy Camaro. Nick Crawford said he cannot wait to get out of Charlotte at this bullshit road course and head to Indy 2 weeks from now. We were in the garage area earlier talking to the triple deuce of Chris Knighty from Indiana. Chris Knighty said 2 weeks from now, everybody's ass is in trouble. He's looking for the checker flag at his home track. Meanwhile, looks like Neil Rutt III is pulled door to door with the race leader, James Fountain going backwards. Kevin Tankos will plug the hole in between the two drivers, and Ty Robertson has taken the number 24 door to door here. James Fountain with a hell of a save down in the second gear. James Fountain will collect the turtle. He'll snap Tim Ty Robertson in the left rear, and they'll go around here on the infield portion part off the exit of turn 6. James Fountain trying to regather up the race car, get it going. He will get it refired. Fountain and Robertson tangle with one another here through turn 6 off of turn 7. Neil Rutt III's got some company from the season 2 champion of Kevin Tankos. Look at Kevin Tankos. He'll put the bumper to the back of the number 66. Kevin Tankos says, I have a bumper. I want to play too. You're riding on board with the season 2 champion, Kevin Tankos. 2 for 3 out of the last road courses here for the Xfinity, for the Madness Racing League, down in the second gear. Does he put it in the first? No, just roll hard, trying to save a little bit of Goodyear rubber, using the turtles to his advantage in this U.S. Air Force number 4 Chevy Camaro. So it's going to be Camaro still rounding out the top 9 here, rounding through the bus stop area. The Hooters number 9 of Ty Robertson gets turned around by James Fountain there off the exit of turn 6, but he's able to hold on to his position. But that is moved up Terry Hughes Jr. Another spot. Terry Hughes Jr., win or lose. He's drinking some booze here tonight at Charlotte, down in the third gear, hard down into the second gear. Really got to be careful coming through this turns 13 and 14 section part of the Charlotte Roval. Why? Because if you get any further close to that left part turtle, you will be black flagged and have to give up time, not by the admin, but just by strictly the iRacing platform video game. Travo Wall holding his own here tonight in this Yellowwood Ford Mustang. If you have not seen previous videos past, or you didn't see the race 2 weeks ago at the Talladega Super Speedway, ladies and gentlemen, we had our one and only Super Speedway race here on the year like we do Xfinity. Travo Wall, Nicholas Maynard battling it out here for the 12th place spot. Travo Wall riding in the second place spot at Talladega, had a engine expire on him in the draft at Talladega. Travo Wall said he was not happy, and he called for a Ford meeting come Monday morning, first thing at 9 a.m. And he had all the Ford engine builders on the call, wanting to know what happened to this number 7 2 weeks ago at Talladega, and would he trouble any more here on the regular season. They ensured Travo Wall and this Yellowwood number 7 rock and roll racing team that they would have no more issues here out of the Ford camp inside of their race cars. Travo Wall, one of the few blue ovals still apart here on the Madness Racing League. Everybody switched over to bow ties or Toyota Supras. Nicholas Maynard will make the trip from rock and roll racing, former teammates with Travo Wall. He's trying his best right now to get around the number 7 rock and roll racing machine of Travo Wall. You're riding on board with Nicholas Maynard as he climbs the banking through NASCAR's turn 3 and 4, but really rested as turn 14 here on the road course down in the second gear. Does he put it in the first? Doesn't look like it. Getting a great run through the corner right there. Trent Hughes, Nick Crawford battle it out back here for the 14th place spot, but it's going to be Neil Rutt III holding on to the race lead here, headed back turn towards the hairpin. Kevin Tankos just looking for an opportunity to strike here. And ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something. Kevin Tankos talking about having a deal. Kevin Tankos and this U.S. Air Force team have came together, and they are having a t-shirt hat combo out there in the fan zone for Kevin Tankos on his race hauler. Make sure you go grab you one. Limited supply only. First come, first serve to any of you Kevin Tankos fans if you're looking to grab some merch out there in the fan zone. Meanwhile, Ty Robertson, Corey Tessner battle door to door here from the 6th place spot. Two different strategies right here. We'll see how they play off. We'll keep the eye on the camera on this battle right here. Corey Tessner locks up the left front tire down into the bus stop. Ty Robertson will overshoot the bus stop, so it'll bring them back even here, but Ty Robertson's able to get the gas down. James Fountain will overblow the corner right there. We'll have to slow down and give up some time. The number 24 of James Fountain stayed out on a different strategy here, the same as Corey Tessner. These Chase Johnson Racing teammates have went from first to second. Now they're riding around in the 7th and 8th place spot. Ty Robertson on that different pit strategy call on 4 fresh Goodyear tires. So is the driver team owner of Chase Johnson. He'll work his way to the infield portion part here at the Charlotte Roval. battle for the race lead here. Not a fan sitting down in their seats, reminding you to head on over to racingelectronics.com to go get your late Racing Electronics scanner today, so you can listen in on all of the action-packed radio calls that these guys are having down here on the racetrack, battling it out. Here's Nicholas Maynard, John Michael Bryant, and Travel Wall. Looks like these guys just can't seem to separate one another here. These are a blue oval and 2 Toyota Supra, so finally something that ain't a bow tie. John Michael Bryant looks like he's got the fastest lap out of the last 2 drivers that last time around. Travel Wall, though, trying to work on the inside. Looks like Nicholas Maynard pulled door to door with the number 23, and John Michael Bryant will pull back down on the bottom side. These two guys just can't seem to shake each other. Nicholas Maynard will look down on the bottom side, will think better of it. We'll get a little bit loose. Travel Wall, though, looking in the rearview mirror, seeing these two guys become smaller and smaller. Travel Wall putting on a show here tonight, just trying to bring home this car in one piece. 11 laps to go here on the Rockin' Roval 75, and that's what we're doing. Rockin' and Roval around the Charlotte Motor Speedway. And this Allied number 66 of Neil Rutt III has been dominating here so far. Started on the pole. He'll flip the stage, though, just like James Fallon and Corey Tesner. So you're looking at 2 totally different pit strategy calls work out right now for the battle for the race win. Kevin Tanko is being told by his team right now to just be patient. Bring it home in one piece. Save those Goodyear tires. You should have about a half a lap advantage on them if you're able to hold on there. Locking up that left front tire there does not help out. Big Kevin Tanko's there. Looks like we have somebody getting a little loose in front of these drivers. Kevin Tanko's struggling here. He says it looks like we might be losing second gear here. I'm having trouble getting it back here. Heading off the exit of the hairpin, Carter Jackson battles door to door with Jerry Powers. This will move Jerry Powers up into the podium P3 spot here tonight. And there comes Carter Jackson. He's riding around in the 4th place spot here from Gatea. Ty Robertson, Chase Johnson battle it back down here into the back hard braking area. Looks like Chase Johnson has received a little bit of front end damage at some point during the event. James Fountain and Corey Tesner. So all 3 of these Chase Johnson racing cars right in the line. Ty Robertson gets a little bit loose off the bus stop area. James Fountain will have an opportunity here. Chase Johnson will close his opportunity in the Harris Cherokee Casino. Number 5 of Chase Johnson racing down into the hard braking zone here. Jerry Powers makes it through quite well. Chase Johnson gets his left tire down on the hurdle quite good. And here comes Ty Robinson looking for an opportunity to strike back down on the bottom side. Hard into the heartburn turn here, working up through the infield portion. Ty Robertson battling back door to door with Chase Johnson. James Fountain looking at what he's got in front of him. How will he elect to play this one right here? Will he undercut his teammate? Here they'll swing wide through the opening turn 6 and turn 7 area. Heading off the turn 7 across the back straightaway of the infield portion part to come back towards you race fans live here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. 10 laps to go. Neil Rutt III doesn't have it in the bag yet. Kevin Tanko's 2 for 3 on the Madness Racing League's road courses here recently. Looking for race number 3, win 3 here in the road courses. Can he get it done here tonight? He's slowly knocking on the back bumper of Neil Rutt III. Neil Rutt III has about a half lap difference in tires. If Neil Rutt will come in 1 lap before the competition caution to try to flip the stage. Kevin Tanko's holding on here for the 2nd place spot. Jerry Powers, Carter Jackson, Ty Robertson, James Fountain, Chase Johnson, and Corey Tesner realistically all have a spot for this 3rd place spot if they could get back to Jerry Powers. But James Fountain has gotten back around both of his teammates of Chase Johnson and Corey Tesner. Meanwhile, here Chase Johnson trying to hold on to his race car. John Michael Bryant, Nicholas Maynard battling it back here. 2 FBM Motorsports Toyota Supras have caught the back bumper of Travel Wall through the bus stop portion part of here tonight. Here comes Sean Williams in this number 25 machine from East Windsor. Sean Williams picked up the win in the Season 2 Xfinity Series race at Daytona. And that's his only Xfinity Series here win for the Madness Racing League. But Sean Williams says he is a halfway mediocre road course racer. He gets big loose there, coming back onto the infield portion part here. What a huge change of elevation and banking right there. John Michael Bryant, Nicholas Maynard battle it out back here for the 12th place spot. 9 laps to go here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. It's realistically anybody's ball game. James Fountain locks up the right front tire right there. That'll open up the door, no pun intended, to his driver teammate of Chase Johnson working through turn 6 and 7. Travel Wall has allowed a 3-car length lead over John Michael Bryant and Nicholas Maynard. Trent Hughes slowly coming back into the mix here in this Road Ranger for Mustang. Working down into the hard hairpin zone here on the Booty Scoot Racing Channel. John Michael Bryant locks up the left front tire. That'll open up the door for Nicholas Maynard. He'll slide on the inside of the number 23 Gorilla Mine Toyota Supra. So these two FBM Toyota Supra teammates battle out here at the climbing the banking here. And what's going to be turn 11 here through NASCAR's turn 1 and 2. John Michael Bryant looking back out on the outside. Nicholas Maynard on the inside. Hard into the braking zone down here through the bus stop area. Nicholas Maynard on the outside. Bryant on the inside. They'll pull door to door here. Battling hard. Back on the outside. Nicholas Maynard will get the advantage over the boogeyman. 8 laps to go here on the Booty Scoot Racing Channel. Neil Rutt III has a mirror full of Kevin Tankos, but Kevin Tankos will lock up the left front tire. Is he trying to get to the number 66? Kevin Tankos being told by his crew chief to hold on. 8 laps to go. About 112 more turns. Hold on to the race car. Do not let him get away from you. Neil Rutt III trying to grab his first road course victory here in the Madness Racing League. Meanwhile, looks like John Michael Bryant got back around. Nicholas Maynard, Carter Jackson, and Ty Robertson battle it out off the exit of turns. NASCAR turns 1 and 2, but that's the road course turn 11. Ty Robertson to the inside of the number 15 Napa Auto Parts machine. And he'll get around him here, but he'll slap the turtle there and get on the left side, just similar to earlier. Kevin Tankos, Neil Rutt going at it. Carter Jackson has to hold on to the race car, though, and Ty Robertson will close the door on it. Meanwhile, Nicholas Maynard got passed back again by John Michael Bryant. The battle here through the hairpin turn. Trent Hughes trying to get back onto the racetrack. Nick Crawford locks up the left rear tire. Chris Knighty not having the race that he was looking for here tonight. Got it to the back end of the number 02 of Nicholas Maynard. Chipped him around. Got a little bit of damage there to the front end of that triple deuce machine. He hasn't been the same since. Meanwhile, Kevin Tankos, Neil Rutt has got separated here by about 8 car lengths. So Neil Rutt III will have 7 laps to hold on to his race car. Kevin Tankos has the tire advantage here. He's slowed back by about 2 or 3 car lengths. It's Kevin Tankos trying to charge late here and make a move for the race win here at the Booty Scoot Racing Channel, live on the Booty Scoot Racing Channel's Roval from the Charlotte Motor Speedway. Ladies and gentlemen, since everybody's spaced out throughout the field right now, battling it out side by side, we'll take it out on the racetrack for tonight's Madness Racing League second and final Fast and Loud. Welcome back here on the Booty Scoot Racing Channel. It's going to be 5 laps remaining here this time around. It looks like we got one coming out on the pit road. That's Chris Knighty in the Triple Deuce Indiana Hoosier football program machine. He'll bring it out on the pit road. Said the tires are absolutely fried. They'll put on their last set of of 4 fresh Goodyear tires, and they'll top it off with Sunoco Racing fuel. He's hoping and praying for a 4-course caution here and try to drop his way up to the front here on some track position. Ladies and gentlemen, Chris Noddy not having the race that he was looking for here tonight, ready to get to Indiana 2 weeks from now, his home track, to try to make something shape. Terry Hughes Jr. will make the pass over Corey Riptide Tessner off the exit of turn 13 and 14. Back down into turns 1 here at the Heartburn turn, live on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. And right across the wall is the number 66 of Neil Rutt III, the race leader over Kevin Tankos. You see out the front nose, you see what Kevin Tankos sees. A slowly Neil Rutt III moving forward, getting away, gaining time on Kevin Tankos off the back straightaway, down into the hard braking zone. Neil Rutt III being told by his crew chief to hold on to the race car, bring it on home. Kevin Tankos being told by his crew chief to push, push, push. If you want to go, you got to go now. Both of these New Jersey drivers do not know each other in real life, but what are the racing procedures like in New Jersey? Do they race fair? Is there a certain specific type of way that these New Jersey Northern drivers race? Ladies and gentlemen, Kevin Tankos has been there, done that here in the Madness Racing League. He's gotten about 8 wins throughout all the series. He's gotten about 4 Xfinity wins underneath his belt. 4 laps to go here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Terry Hughes Jr. has marched his way up through the field, up 5 spots from where he started. Travo Wall, Nicholas Maynard battling it out back here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. But as it stands right now, Sean Williams is up 6 spots. Nicholas Maynard is up 6 spots. And Nick Crawford is up 6 spots. 3 of these guys right now tied for the Hard Charger Award. And with that pass right there from Nicholas Maynard over Travo Wall, that'll put him up 7 spots. He'll take the Hard Charger Award. That's 20 extra points added to your total score here with 4 laps to go. So tons of people doing tons of different things. We got guys like Neil Rutt III as well as James Fountain and Corey Tessner have had this pit strategy call either come back and bite you in your ass, or in the case of Neil Rutt III, help you tremendously. Corey Tessner, James Fountain in this number 24 machine, and Neil Rutt III, the current race leader right now, who has put a lap car between him and the second place guy of Kevin Tankos. That's the number 18 of Trent Hughes. Trent Hughes will move out of the way for Kevin Tankos and let him have a shot to go catch the back bumper of Neil Rutt. 3 laps remain here on the Rock and Roval 75. Neil Rutt III running away from Kevin Tankos. Three laps to go here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. You couldn't ask for anything better if you're looking for it. You found it right here. Nicholas Maynard gets around Travo Wall. Travo Wall trying his absolute best to beat on that back bumper and get back. Travo Wall says he wants this top 10 spot, but these guys are going to have to go run down the number 8 of Corey Riptide Tessner, who is charging ever so slowly over this back bumper of Sean Williams. Right now, Sean Williams, Nicholas Maynard tied for that Hard Charger Award. Corey Tessner trying to get through the gears and run down the guy in front of him. 3 laps to go here. Ty Robertson trying to get to that back bumper of Jerry Powers the second, but Jerry Powers not having it. He'll throw another Zen in and try to get going off the exit of turn 12 here at the Charlotte Roval, climbing the banking through turns 1 and 2, the NASCAR oval style. Neil Rutt III heads off the banking of turns 14 here in the Charlotte Road Course, and he'll head back towards the front stretch. He'll have a lap car in front of him of the number 48 of Nick Crawford. How will this Chevy Camaro play for the Chevy right behind him of the race leader of Neil Rutt III? Will Nick Crawford pull over, or will he try to play a little bit of a block here, maybe make it interesting and allow the number 4 of Kevin Tankos to enter the party? Neil Rutt III won the race 2 races ago, about a month ago at the Rockingham Speedway. He didn't dominate by any circumstance, but he definitely took over at the last part of the stages after, I believe it was the 0-2, or somebody had a pedal issue. Neil Rutt III took the lead at Rockingham and never looked back. Neil Rutt, a real-life modified driver at the Wall Stadium in New Jersey. And so if you're around that area, make sure you go check out Neil Rutt and his number 66 modified at the Wall Stadium, where he's picked up several victories over his real-life racing career. Right now, though, Kevin Tankos is just losing touch to that back bumper of Neil Rutt III. You see the gap there down the back straightaway off the exit of turn 2. Neil Rutt down and hard into the braking zone here down the back straightaway. Kevin Tanko's slowly closing in on him, but it's only in the braking zones. Look at this battle down here in the hairpin area between Chase Johnson and Carter Jackson. Chase Johnson, though, not able to get the gas down on the outside. Carter Jackson opens up the front door again. Can he get the gas down? 2 laps to go. This time on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. White flag in the air presented by AFLglobal.com for Neil Rutt III. He has the white flag this time around on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. The only hope for Kevin Tankos is going to be this number 23 Gorilla Mind Toyota Supra of John Michael Bryant. The lap traffic car right in front of the race leader of Neil Rutt III. How will this Toyota of John Michael Bryant play it? Known to rattle a few cages here. White flag is in the air this time around for Neil Rutt III. He'll work off the exit of turn 5 and head toward turn 6 and down into turn 7. He'll work around the Toyota Supra of John Michael Bryant down and banging the gears. The second gear down into turn 8. Neil Rutt has a closing Kevin Tankos, who's put about a half car length up here. He'll lock up the left front tire down into the hairpin. Back up through the gears here. White flag is in the air off the exit of turn number 9 here at the Charlotte Roval. Rockin' Roval 75 down the back straightaway here. Neil Rutt, the race leader. Kevin Tankos sending it in here hard on the braking zone. You see the race leader, of Neil Rutt III, right in front of him, but he just won't have enough this time around. A lap traffic car in between them. Neil Rutt III will come across the banking of turn 13, head off the exit of turn 14, down into the hard braking zone for the final time here tonight. Checkered flag is in the air for the number 66 Camaro of Neil Rutt III. He'll work off the final turn and he'll win the Rockin' Roval 75 here tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Kevin Tankos will come across second. Jerry Powers will head off the final corner here tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. He'll bring home the 3rd place spot as Nick Crawford goes around in the final corner. Ty Robertson, James Fountain will bring home the 4th and 5th place spot here. Here comes Chase Johnson. He'll work his way off at turn 14 and 13 with Carter Jackson right behind him here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. And there's not another jacker in sight all the way till you get back here to the number 81 of Terry Hughes Jr. He'll work off the banking of turns number 14, and he'll come to finish tonight's Rockin' Roval 75 live here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. He'll take home the 8th place spot here tonight, and working off the banking of turns 14 will be the number 25 of Sean Williams. Here comes Corey Tesner off the exit of 14. Through the final turn here, 15 at the Charlotte Road Course. Sean Williams, Corey Tesner bring home the final top 10 spots here tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Maynard will climb the banking with Travel Wall right behind him through 13. Off the banking through turns 14, down into turn 15 to the final braking zone. Nicholas Maynard, Travel Wall, Corey Tesner will bring home the 10th and 11th place spot here tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. And Travel Wall gets big loose. It'll go around though. He'll finish the race. John Michael Bryant, Nick Crawford work on the back half of the road course, but it's going to be Neil Rutt III coming back around the front straightaway here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. And he has won the Rockin' Roval 75. Neil Rutt III and his ally number 66 Chevy Camaro will stay down on the bottom side of the racetrack as the rest of these guys continue to round up tonight. Rockin' Roval 75. Kevin Tankos brings all the rest of the guys that finish right behind him down here. And these guys look like they'll park and have the driver interviews here in just a moment. Neil Rutt III from Union Beach, New Jersey wins the Rockin' Roval 75 live here tonight from the Charlotte Roval. Welcome back here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel, live from the Charlotte Motor Speedway for the Rockin' Roval 75, where we have just finished up here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Neil III, driver the number 66 Boardwick Allied. Number 66 Chevy Camaro from Union Beach, New Jersey will go collect the checker flag here and hop back in his race car and head on down the victory lane to get his driver interview. But we'll switch on over here to, looks like going to be Kevin Tankos is who I'm being told, excuse me, from the admin on who they will have first for the driver interview. And if you can hear me, pit reporter, do you have a copy? Go ahead.
Down here in the infield at the Charlotte Motor Speedway for the Rockin' Roval 75, and we are with the runner-up driver here tonight, driver number 4 of Kevin Tankos. Kevin, kind of walk us through your race here tonight at Charlotte, back and forth there for the race lead, going up into the competition caution. Looks like your streak will get snapped here tonight of the road courses in the Madness Racing League. Kind of talk to us about where things could have went a little bit better tonight.
Runner-up, man. It hurts a lot. I mean, it's a great day, but just a great job to Neil. He did awesome managing that car. I thought for sure he was tearing his stuff up in front of me on that second run, but somehow he was able to manage it. Just did a lot of preparation with the guys at Rush and 811. Did some coaching. Proud to see Trent Hughes up in the top 15. We worked really hard on his lap times and definitely showed here today. Yeah, just not much to say about that. I hate to sound cocky, but I will say confidently that Neil definitely got lucky here today with James. I got a time penalty trying to pass under him, and I think if that went differently, it would have been a lot different outcome. But great job to everybody. Fun day here, and hope to get better going on.
Kevin Tanko will take the P2 spot here tonight at the Roval here in Charlotte. We'll scoot down to the third place podium finisher, driver of the number 99 season 2 runner up there in the final 4, Jerry, and you're out here in the road course tonight, turning left, turning right, trying a new discipline. Walk us through your race, your kind of how you had things there with the competition caution on lap 10.
I'm far from a road course driver, so definitely had to be disciplined. Got a little crazy there after that, the competition caution there in lap 10. There was a lot of craziness there in front of me. I think Carter, looked like Chase, James, a bunch of people got together, Ty. So I was happy to not be involved with that. No incidents, for me today, which is good. Good day for Rush Motorsports. Like Kevin said, we worked on our cars all week. Thought we'd have a little bit better speed, but it's the name of the game sometimes. So we'll fight back strong next week.
Jerry Powers looking to fight back 2 weeks from now at the Indianapolis Raceway, where we'll head there 2 weeks from now. We'll scoot down here to the P4 finisher, driver of the number 9 Chevy Camaro of Ty Robertson. Ty, kind of walk us through your race here tonight at the Charlotte Motor Speedway, where you had a really fast car in the next-gen race at Watkins Glen and battled Kevin Tankos, but a P4 here tonight at the Roval.
Yeah, the car wasn't too bad. We was just mainly struggling on the short run. Couldn't really find much speed there. We were really good on the long run, but we couldn't really showcase it. Me and James got together there, and it put us in the back. And we had to recover up to P4. But to go from P8 to P4 in like 15 laps here is a pretty good job because it's really hard to pass here. I want to appreciate Hooters, Monster Energy, Exalta, Napa, all the sponsors on the car here today for bringing a fast car. Wish we could have got it done, but we'll go on to the next race.
Ty Robertson was fast in practice, just didn't have the race pace here tonight to bring home the victory. He'll finish in the 4th place spot. We'll scoot down here to the P5 finisher of James Fountain. James, kind of walk us through your race here tonight. Sounds like a little bit of contact there midway throughout the race inside of your race car. Just kind of talk about how you were able to work your way back up through the field after the competition caution on lap 10, and you'll bring home a P5.
Yeah, had a pretty good race car off the trailer. Knew we were gonna be at least top 5, top 10. Just went into qualifying with nuts on the wheel and did pretty good, and then came out into the race and was running pretty good. Tried to throw a little strategy in there, get a couple laps led, and it ended up working out. But Tankos and Neil Rudd, I couldn't hold them boys out there too fast, and Just tried to drive over my head a little bit, got in a little contact with Carter there, or whoever it was, I can't remember, I'm sorry. But Ty Robertson. And I just want to say I'm sorry about that, and want to thank the sponsor and the team at the shop, and we'll be back in a couple weeks, give her another shot.
James Fountain will look ahead to Indianapolis Raceway 2 weeks from now to make its way to victory lane, hopefully. And when we get there, we will scoot down here to the 02, finishing 11th here tonight. That's the driver of Nicholas Maynard. Nick, kind of walk us through your night here tonight at the Roval and where did things go wrong? Yeah, we had a great race car here tonight. This Maynard Motors Toyota Supra was bad fast here, just not a road course racer. It was definitely the driver, not the car here tonight. We got used at somebody's brakes a couple of times. We'll just write it down in the notebook, save it 2 weeks from now. We get out there to Indy. Looking for some fun there. See you guys in 2 weeks. And that'll be the driver of the number 02 of Nicholas Maynard. And looks like if we can't get a pit reporter down there in the victory lane where Neil Rutt III is just pulled in for his victory.
And ladies and gentlemen, we will return in just a second here with the race leader of Neil Rutt here. See if we can't get a word from our driver winner here tonight for the Rockin' Roval 75. Welcome back here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. We're rocking up the Rockin' Roval 75, excuse me, not 175. That'd have been a shit ton of racing here tonight, just 75. Here are the final results. Neil Rutt III goes to victory lane here tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. And I believe we may have a pit reporter down there in victory lane with Neil Rutt. Let's see what he has to say. Victory lane at the Booty Scoot Racing's channel, Charlotte Roval with the race winner of Neil Rutt III. Neil, kind of walk us through your race here tonight, beating and banging, left turns, right turns, guys up and over here. Just kind of walk us through your race. The competition caution on lap 10, you were able to get out front there, hold on to the race lead, battling with Kevin Tankos. You'll find your second win here on the year, headed to Indy 2 weeks from now. And that's the driver, the number 66 winner here tonight at the Roval, Neil Rutt. And ladies and gentlemen, we apologize for that right there. I don't believe you could maybe hear Neil Rutt. It was a little janky, but Neil Rutt III said that he was real proud of the crew chief there for the call that they made to stay out on the racetrack there instead of going down on the pit lane with the rest of the group. And he said that he is proud to pick up his second win on the season. He's looking forward to Indiana 2 weeks from now when we get out there to Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Ladies and gentlemen, looks like we will go ahead and throw up the final results one more time here tonight as Neil Rutt III goes to victory lane here at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. Neil Rutt III had just one hell of a performance here tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. He'll grab the most points for the most laps led here tonight and the pole to go as well with it. Kevin Tankos had a performance here tonight. Felt so close there to grabbing that third road course win here in the Madness Racing League. Said he felt like he was robbed there at the end and made just one mistake and it'll cost him. Jerry Powers from Park Ridge, New Jersey. The three New Jersey drivers absolutely showed out here tonight at the Charlotte Roval. He'll bring home the P3 spot. Ty Robertson brings home the P4 spot here tonight in his Fury Cam Racing number 9 Chevy Camaro, and James Fountain recovers quite well there after giving up some time and slow down. The number 24 machine jumps the caution there and tries to hold on to it, and he will. He'll grab a P5 spot here tonight. Chase Johnson will bring home the 6th place spot here tonight. It's Chase Johnson Racing number 5 machine. Carter Jackson back out in action here tonight on the Madness Racing League from Gattega. He will snag a top 10 here tonight. He'll bring home the 7th place spot here tonight. His number 15. Terry Hughes Jr. up 5 spots from where he started. The Troy, Alabama driver driving the Chevy Camaro for Rush Motorsports. Second race for Rush Motorsports brings home another top 10. Sean Williams brings home the 9th place spot here tonight and his number 25 machine. A solid day for the ENS Motorsports. Corey Riptide Tesner not having the performance that he was looking for. Got up front there for a little bit. He'll flip the comp caution and stay out underneath the caution flag on the comp caution. He'll finish the top 10 spot here tonight. Nicholas Maynard grabbed the P11 spot here tonight for the Team Penske development team. Maynard Motors Toyota Supra from Welford, South Carolina. Travo Wall had a hell of a race here tonight in his number 7 Ford Mustang for Yellowwood. Rock and Roll Racing stand up here tonight. They'll take home the 12th place spot. John Michael Bryant said it was most definitely the driver, not the car here tonight. Just couldn't get the turn and he was looking for. Not much of a road course racer. He'll snag home the 13th place spot here tonight. Nick Crawford from Buchanan, West Virginia, the large car, made a large part of it here tonight. He was able to hold on to that race car for the majority of tonight's event. They'll lose a lap underneath the green flag conditions, but the Rock and Roll Racing number 48 machine brings home the 14th place spot. Trent Hughes, the little brother of Terry Hughes Jr., now operating 81XI Racing at a full-time extent role. He's turning around this 81XI Racing Ford program. They'll keep scratching and clawing at the road course program. He'll bring home a 15th place spot here tonight. His teammate Chris Knighty didn't do any much better here. Got him to the back of the number 02 of Nicholas Maynard. He'll finish 7 laps down after bringing it down on the pit road with a broken toe leak. They couldn't fix it up. Thomas McLaughlin in his Gravedigger number 38 machine slaps the outside wall there and loses tons of track position. They try to repair the number 38, get him back out on the racetrack, and they'll do that. He'll have the Gravedigger on the side of the U.S. Navy veteran supporting the veterans here tonight on Veterans Day weekend. And his Ford Mustang, he will bring home the 17th place spot here. Braden Rickenbaugh tried his little heart out here tonight, just couldn't get the car up and going the way that he would like to have tonight. He finishes out in the 18th place spot. Didn't have his teammate Cameron Sands. Michael Johnson brings home the 19th place spot here tonight. And his number 1 Clarence Bass Pro Shop Tracker number 1 Camaro, ladies and gentlemen. Right behind him was Holden Wheeler, who had a couple laps underneath his belt here tonight. 3 laps was all Holden Wheeler got here in front of the hometown crowd here in North Carolina after a wiring harness will blow up inside of the race car and almost burns it down to the ground there on pit road. He's able to climb out from that race car and be intended for by the AMR safety crew. Blake Koschchild not feeling so well behind the wheel here tonight from Santa Valley, Arizona. The 25-year-old father of 3 battling some flu-like conditions, but he will join in here tonight and take the starting part. And his number 16, Blake Koschchild Motorsports Paint Hoschchild boys, just didn't have the race that they were looking for. He'll take the starting part, grab the points here necessary on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Ladies and gentlemen, you are watching the Madness Racing League's Xfinity Series Rock and Roval 75 live here from the Roval at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Neil Rutt III still celebrating here on the front stretch with his fans. We'll go to Victory Lane here tonight from Union Beach, New Jersey. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll bring up the final remaining schedule here. We still got a couple more races to knock out here over the coming weeks. Headed to Indianapolis Motor Speedway 2 weeks from now for some awesome, should be drafting style package racing, I would imagine. But who knows who's going to win? Kevin Tankos, the former race winner at Indianapolis. They've only ever been there one other time in the Gen 6 Cup Series. We're looking to, to get out there 2 weeks from now. Should be an exciting race that headed to the Bristol Motor Speedway right after that. Ladies and gentlemen, this was the point systems coming into tonight's event that showed Neil Rutt on top of the leaderboards with his 1 win. Now he'll add another one to the board in the bank, and he'll keep climbing the leaderboard up. Playoffs start in 4 races from now. So if you are not above that yellow cut line after 4 races, after 4 more races after tonight, you are in big, big trouble. Ladies and gentlemen, tons of guys didn't have the races they were looking for tonight. This should shake up the points This is shake up the point system, big time here. Thank you for watching the Madness Racing League Rockin' Roval 75 live here tonight from the Charlotte Motor Speedway on a cold 69-degree day. Ladies and gentlemen, Neil Rutt III finds victory lane for the second time here in Season 3 on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. We gladly appreciate you guys choosing your Saturday night to watch it right here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. We will see you Wednesday night for the Booty Scoot Racing channel's Madness Racing League Next Gen Cup Series Championship Race live from the Chicagoland Speedway. You're not going to want to miss a damn thing right here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Make sure you go press that subscribe button. Peace.